here we are. It's just started just after 11, and official signs of the coast war up with Wainwright, and so it's over this Ennerdale Bridge. And then heads in to see. Okay, the first mile or so is very nice, just on this sort of easy path, slightly to the side, so you sort of feel as though you're running with your left foot lower than your right. But absolutely beautiful day. Sun is shining. It's not cold at all. So really blessed with the weather so far. I hope it stays like this for the rest of the day. I think it's going to be obviously cold on the tops, but that's a few hours away, so I'll enjoy what we have. So heading towards the lighthouse over there with the sea to our left. Okay, been going almost 2.5 miles, and we're coming up to the lighthouse. Ocean behind us and the sun behind us. It's a beautiful day, and follow this coastal path for another half mile, maybe a little bit more, before we turn right and then land. Okay, just come that way. The lighthouse is there, and there is a signpost to Sandwith, which we are going to go to, but we carry on the coastal path here, through the gates here. And follow on the path past this little outhouse. It's been going for almost 4 miles, and you can see Whitehaven there. I came through the train there an hour or two and a bit ago, and going past this quarry, danger, keep out. And then I think up there where those people are, I think that's where we're going to take a right, and then basically we'll be heading east then. In the race it'll be east all the way to Robin Hood's Bay, but today it's only to Grasmere. Yep, so we're now leaving the coast and the sea, and we're heading east now towards the sun, and we're on this little road now for about 3/4 of a mile, I think, into Sandwith. Just gone through Sandwith, go past the Dog and Partridge, and then we're just gonna head up here and then take a right in a minute. Okay, so we just come down that path, that road from the Dog and Partridge, and then we're following this path now, St. Bees Road, so we're heading down this way past these white cottages, making our way towards the lakes now. So we've just been through a little farm, and then we have to cross this road. Nothing coming, so it's good. And so Whitehaven historic market town is down there, and we're heading towards the hills now. Looks as though there's a little bit of snow on the very tops, but it's pretty clear actually. I did bring my Catulas with me, but maybe I'll need them, maybe not, we'll see. But I've still got them if I do. But I just can't get over what a beautiful day it is. The sun is shining, and having a really good time. So just lovely start to the day. Great weather. I just had hot cross buns and a little drink, so I've been going just over an hour and a bit, and so that was my first little mini split into Sandwith, and then the next one is Cleator, which is about I think it's another 3 or 4 miles away, and then the one after that is Ennerdale Bridge, and that's the sort of first checkpoint really. So certainly having a good day so far. Okay, made my first little mistake there. I came to this path, and I thought, oh, surely we stay on the main path, which was this one, but it is actually this lower one. So maybe these signs, I wasn't quite sure if they were the coastal path, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But as soon as I headed up that path, I was off my line on my Garmin, so it was definitely the wrong one, so I need to head down here. That looks like they crossed the railway line in a minute. Yep, this is the right way, because you follow this path down and then we're going to go underneath the railway line there. There's a little bridge there, a little tunnel to go under the railway line. That was the line which I came down, I think, a couple of hours ago. So here we are, going underneath the railway line, the gate here, and then carrying across that field. So under the tunnel and then heading across the field to the corner of the woods there. There's the train in the background. Right, since we went under the train line, which is over there, a little tricky bit actually. You had to go across quite a muddy, wet field, and you've got to keep to the left of the stream. The stream's just in the tree line there. I actually just wandered a little bit right and had to cut back over. So the path is keeping to the left of this stream all the way, and then I'm back on the footpath now and heading over this way. Okay, just come up over that, well, it was a bridge I think, but it's gone now. Just one side of the little stream, and then we'll go in under, this is I think a disused railway line, and then we're heading through that gap there, and we're going to cross the A595. Not quite sure whether the path goes under or over it, but we'll soon find out. Okay, just come from, and the answer is we need to try and cross this road. Oh, get across that. Basically that's the A595, which is a busy road actually. Here we go. So there's Mr. Wainwright. Robin Hood's Bay, 184 miles, St. Bees 7 miles, and Sculpture by Colin Telfer. So thank you very much Mr. Wainwright for our route. So we've just come down the road from the sculpture statue of Mr. Wainwright. We're just going to leave this main road now, and we're going to take a left here. Scale Gill. And then we're going to head down onto the disused railway line, which is now, I assume, a cycle track walk area, and where the embankment is. Okay, we're now on, that's actually a good tarmac path for a little bit along this disused railway line. Okay, we've been on this cycle path for about, I don't know, a mile a bit, and then the path takes a left here down this little one. And this is Cleator. I'm going to use the cross the road as my mini split, so it's coming up soon. Okay, just come up there from the Wainwright Passage, and this is going to be my second mini split. That's 4.63 miles from the last one. So this is the main road, and we just make our way up here and then take a right where that green sign is up there. There's actually a lot more signs than I thought there would be. I didn't realise it was as well signposted as this. So that's must be just over 9 miles or so. Yeah, 9.45 miles, and we're heading now. The next stop will be Ennerdale Bridge, and I'm going to stop there for a few minutes to have some lunch. Took a left, or kept to the left of the White House, and then we're going to take a right here now along Miller's Walk, and I assume this will lead on to a footpath pretty soon. Yep, up onto over the river, and following that It's been going for 10.33 miles, and now climbing up this forestry path, so it's quite a good fairly wide path, but it's climbing up through the trees, and basically we sort of head over here, and then it goes over a couple of tops I think, and then heads down into Ennerdale Bridge. And I think Ennerdale Bridge feels as though it's the start of the Lake District really. I'm sure this is classed as the lakes, but in my mind I'm thinking like, I want to get to Ennerdale Bridge, and once you leave there you get into the heart of the lakes, and I'll be running along Ennerdale past up to Blacksale Youth Hostel, and then a little bit past there, and then there's a climb up to Kynaston. Right, steady climb up the hill through the trees, and you come to a junction here, this way or this way, and you go left. So basically I'm going to head this way, and I think this is into the open moorland bit now rather than in the trees. And as I was climbing up there, I was wondering how many people are following my dot. James Thurlow, the race organiser, very kindly sent me a tracker, and Katrina rang a while ago and said that it's working and she's following, but I wonder how many other people are spending, not a time obviously, but every now and again having a look and seeing how far I'm getting and how I'm doing. So if you are, thank you very much, and certainly adds a little bit to the recce. Just about to the top of that climb. I would say by far that was the biggest climb so far. Made our way down from there, Cleator, and that's where we started from, right over there on the coast at St. Bees, which is probably over there somewhere. So we ran, is that the lighthouse? So we sort of ran along and now look, we can start to see the hills of the district. Isn't it beautiful? And well, just a few bits of snow on the very tops, but nice and clear all the way for miles. Quite hazy at the top. Isn't that beautiful? I started about 10 past 11, so that's at 10 past 9 o'clock, so I'm about 2 hours behind sort of race time, as it were, if I was starting on the race. And the race is 11 weeks today, so in 11 weeks time I'll have been through here hopefully a couple of hours ago. I'm hoping actually I'll be a little bit faster on the race, because I'm definitely taking the time today and taking lots of video clips and making sure I know the route, consulting the map and my Garmin, making sure I'm not making any mistakes. Just made that one little mistake, but that's why I like doing recce's really, because it gives you a chance to make those mistakes on the recce rather than the race day. But this is absolutely wonderful. So over the big slide, and then basically down. Well, that was a very steep descent down that grassy bank, and now we've a pretty looks a well-worn path, which is going to head in now to Ennerdale Bridge, I think. Because I think it's probably just under 2 miles to go to Ennerdale Bridge, and I'm going to have a little pause there and have my sweet potato and cheese, which I've been looking forward to. And I've almost run out of my tailwind, so I'm hopefully going to be able to refill my water at Ennerdale. It's been a lovely path for about the last mile, and we've arrived here at Low Cock How. I'm sure lots of people will spend the night here. You're doing the coast to coast, and a big sign here telling us to go. We probably got less than a mile, about the 6 miles. So we've and there was a good footpath just off the main, the small road, so it was good. And then come here, take a right, and take the lead. There's a little path there which so means you don't have to run the road, but it was a bit muddy though. And then you come to this junction here, Ennerdale Lake, 1 mile. Welcome to Ennerdale. So we're gonna head down here and then get onto the path. Looking forward to running Ennerdale. You get to so you Hostel, and then the third one is Black Sail, and then just after Black Sail you climb up to Hunter. So just come down a little road, and then just going to come through this car park and then get onto the path, which is going to run right along the length of Ennerdale and then right through the trees. So I must admit that when I looked at the map I was really looking forward to this bit. Here's the map here. So we're here. I'm going to run right along there, cross over to this side I think, past Ennerdale Youth Hostel, and then right away to the Black Sail Youth Hostel here, and then we head up this way. Here we have Ennerdale Lake. So the path, I think it stays around quite low. There's a higher path, but I think the route goes this way here. And here. Right, this path along the side of Ennerdale Lake, it's fairly flat, and you'd think I was hoping to run a lot more, but it's quite difficult because it's so stony and rocky, and there's a few places where you can get a little bit of a run going, but a lot of it is just trying to walk as fast as you can over it, because I say even though it's flat, it's quite tricky to run. A little bit of ice curve as well, but still beautiful day, and so that's where I've come from. So running alongside Ennerdale Lake. Made it to the end of the lake, end of Ennerdale. As I said, that path was a lot rockier than I thought. It reminds me a lot of Rosewater. You're doing Lake 100, which I'll do tomorrow. But it looks as though and I think between the three hostels down there, I think that's the forestry road, and I'm sure that's going to be one. So hopefully for the next hour or so I'll be able to do more running and keep moving. Okay, second slight mistake there. I just came over that cattle grid and turned left, and then I carried on that road and was about to go up over that bridge, but then realised that I should have headed left here and should be heading across to the other side where the path is. So I'll just have a look at my map there. Yeah, so I need to cut across over that field there and get onto the path on the other side. Easy to me, just little slips like that, just not concentrating and didn't look at the map, and then I suddenly checked my Garmin and realised, oops, I was off the line. So I wonder if anyone's watching the tracker saying, "Oh John, come back." Oh, I heard you, and heading across where I should be. And once again, oh, look at that beautiful view of Ennerdale. Nice little bridge to cross. Snow. It's definitely getting a bit cooler now. I'm in the shade. I can see the sunline just a bit higher up, but it's certainly a little bit cooler now where I am. That was the bridge that just came over. I took a slightly long line. I went right, but you should have gone straight on, follow the fence, and then over a little bridge, and then just come up this path here. And we're now on the main forestry path, and this goes all the way to Blacksail now. So I think it might be undulating, but basically it's going to be a wider path for the next 3 or 4 miles. That'll take us past Ennerdale Lake, which is going to be my next mini split, and then Blacksail will be my second mini split of this leg, and then Kynaston is the checkpoint. Wow, this is amazing. So it's been like this for the last mile and a half since Ennerdale Lake, and I assume it's going to be like this all the way now to Blacksail. It's undulating as I thought, so I've run a fair bit, but I'm still walking the hills. But you can just about see the sunlight on the top of the hills there, but the sun has gone down behind that peak. But I might still get a bit of sunlight when I start climbing after Blacksail. I'm hoping that I might get to Kynaston before I need a head torch, but we'll see. I think it's about 20 past 4, so I think there's another couple of hours of daylight. So yeah, I should be hopefully past Kynaston. There's the sun setting towards Ennerdale Bridge and Blacksail Newcastle, so just refilled my water, and the Lakeland 100 course comes down that gap there, but I'm going to go that way and then head up that gap there into a little bit of snow. Okay, I'm not sure you can hear this stuff, but I climbed up from the Blacksail Newcastle and didn't do any video on the way because my hands were quite cold, and I was using poles as well, so I got my poles out. Pretty well at the top now, that gorgeous sunset. Just heading over this way towards Kynaston. So Dave's just dropped me off just on 9 o'clock, bang on time, and so I'm now on the route again and setting off for day 2. Again, the weather is just amazing, blue skies, sun coming up, so it's just going to hopefully be a good day. Looks as though there's a little bit of snow on the top, so might need to get my coutulas out again, but hopefully nothing like I had yesterday. Okay, making my way up to Grisdale Town, and what a view. Sun, probably blind the camera, but sun there coming up now, getting pretty warm, and there's Grasmere down there, and that's the range where I would have come over last night, and you can see there's quite a lot of snow on the top, so it's definitely the right decision to head back. But oh, what a lovely day to be out in the lakes. So here's Grisdale Town, and that's almost 2 miles. It took me the best part of an hour, so it was a good solid climb up there. Now this point is a join of 3 different routes. Obviously the Northern Traverse that I'm recceing now, and then I also did a race called the Ultimate Trails 100k. I'm not sure if it's still running in the full distance now, but we came up from Patterdale, so the way we go down is the way that that route goes up, and then that goes round the tarn and then goes to that point and then goes down to Dunmail Raise. So that's the 110, and then the other race is the Lakes in a Day, and Helvellyn is just behind there, and basically you wake your way down there, run around the tarn, and then you head up this one, which is Fairfield, and then you've got a long run down the ridge, down into Ambleside, and then all the way down to Cartmel. So that's I say this little bit here is 3 different races: Northern Traverse, Ultimate Trails 100k, and the Lakes in a Day. Okay, saying goodbye to Grousedale Tarn, and I'll see you in May. And then we're now heading to a new view now, so once we get over this little col here, then heading down into Patterdale. Just met a walker who camped up here last night, and he was saying that once you get over this col, then the ice and the snow pretty well disappear, so should have an easier run down into Patterdale. Right, so I've made my way down from the tarn. It was hard to find the path really, and it was a bit icy in places, so I had to keep moving down, but basically I've got down, and I'll use this bridge as my next little mini split. It's only 6 miles from Grasmere to Patterdale, so I've got 3 sort of 2-mile splits, so presumably that's the way up Helvellyn if you want to go that way, or carry on up the tarn that way. And now I'm back on the proper path now, and this should take me all the way down into Patterdale. Right, coming into Patterdale. Finally, after about 2 hours, I was able to do some running. The first hour climb up, obviously I wasn't running, and then all the way down pretty well to that bridge. It was quite treacherous at times in the ice, and just trying to get down safely. But then from the bridge I was able to run more than I walked. So coming into Patterdale now, and not quite sure where the checkpoint's going to be here, maybe even in this sports field. This was a checkpoint for the Ultimate Trails 100k, and the 50k started here, so that year Katrina did it, and that's where they started, in this field here. So just went through Patterdale, church on the left as I back, and the path here is to the right of this building here, or left of this building here, and then making our way up. And again, this is part of the Ultimate Trails 100k that I did a few years ago, so this is the way we came down. And I think, since I remember, it's like a pretty gradual descent, so it's going to be a gradual climb. Once again, absolutely amazing view. Slowly climb up this path. Take this in, isn't it amazing? Absolutely. Oh, spectacular. It's Angel Town. I don't think I took the best route from when I climbed the path from Patterdale. I think I took better to my left and right, and there were some walkers and some cyclists, so I was following them. Come back over, so it'll be interesting to look at the track later. Okay, just come down there following the wall. I'm not quite sure if that's the correct line. Well, I've made a complete and utter mess of this. I came down that one that's ahead by the wall, and then I convinced myself that I should have gone down. So I went all the way back up, had a look at it and realised that's north. I still need to be going this way. So I've gone all the way down again and then all the way up this one. So just everyone follow on the track will be thinking, is he doing hill reps or what? Oh, it's good to see Haweswater. So I've moved my way down off there. Eventually I found the right way. I'd love to do that section again from Patterdale to down to Haweswater. I know I will on the race, but I made so many silly mistakes there. And that's in good weather when I can see. I don't know what it'd be like if the mist was down. So I'm going to have to study that bit and make sure I don't make the same mistakes on the way. But I've now made it, and I'm now on the Horseside coast, the Lakeside Pass. And again, this route, this little bit, I've been on three different races. Lake and Hundreds coming this way, and then the Ultimate Trails going that way, and obviously this Northern Traverse going this way as well. So I reckon it's about 3.5 miles to the end of the lake of Haweswater, and then we'll have about another, I think about 5.5 miles to Shap, so probably just run about 10 miles to go. Back down Haweswater, and this is where the Lake and Hundred comes down, down through that plantation there, and then obviously they turn right and head towards the checkpoint at Ennerdale Head at the car park, and I'm going to continue almost at the end of Ennerdale Lake now, visit down, and so not too far to go. Just realised that I must have pressed the stop button rather than the lap button at the start of this lake, so I'm not quite sure how far I've run since on the lakeside. Okay, so we've come down from Haweswater to like a little S-bend through the little houses and onto this tarmac road, and then we're basically cutting straight across this road and using this as my mini split at the end of the lake, and then we're we got signs again now, coast to coast, Ennerdale Bridge. So I reckon it's about maybe 4 or 5 miles from here to Shap. Well, here we are in Shap. Katrina's dropped me off and she's going to drive to Kirby Stephen. So I've just run down the main street through Shap, opposite the King's Arms Hotel, and then we're taking the path, so coast to coast, signposts, so we're heading this way. Yeah, so it looks as though there's good signposts out of Shap, and then we're now on a track for a while, I think. So made our way out of Shap, and just about to cross over the M6, so there's the bridge there, and it's a little bit cooler, so I'll pop my gloves on because hands are getting a bit cold. I haven't got a jacket on, hopefully I'm running, so I'll keep him warm, but I think already I can see the benefits of my watch following the black line, and also the Harvey map is really clear, so feeling a bit more confident about the navigation today, but hope that's not famous last words. Okay, there's the M8, we're saying goodbye to it now, and I'm heading across this field and away from the motorway. and heading east. First big stop today is Kirby Stephen, which is about 20 miles, where I'm going to meet Katrina there. That's coming this way, and then we're just running alongside this first. Looks like a sort of a quarry or something. So we're following that way and we're heading towards those trees in the distance over there. Right, famous last words. I came over from the motorway and I came to the quarry, and I thought on the map it was the smaller one, so I ran all the way around the big lake by the quarry. So first mistake of the day, but the good thing is my watch showed it, but I just thought, oh, it must be around that way. And anyway, so I saw two walkers who were also at the same end of the lake, so I wasn't the only one. But this is why I do the recce's. I've been trying to see if the track is working. It doesn't seem to be going at the moment, so Andy Norman is trying to get in touch with James Thurlow to see if he can do it. The little green dot's working, so it's on my end, so hopefully it'll kick in soon. But to be honest, I'm quite happy it's not working, because as soon as people look at it, they'll go, what is he doing again? So that's my one mistake, and hopefully it's my only mistake of the day. We'll see. Okay, been on a good little path since I made my mistake at that farm, and then basically there's alternatives here. There's a path going off to the right, which is the one you're supposed to use in the winter, I think, and then but this is the route. So we're heading to the corner of the trees there, and then round there we go left, and then up over the moor. Okay, following a good path now, and this stone looks quite distinctive. I'm sure it's got a name or something, and it's quite good because you've got these little posts every now and again on this little bit, and you can just about see written on there sea to sea, and some of them have got written on as well. And on the map it does say this is a marshy ground, so it looks as though I can get my feet wet here as we head across the moor. Okay, just a quick update. Been going for 6.66 miles, 1 hour 37, and just following this path now up past alongside this fence and wall, and that little bit of snow, or whatever it was, has stopped now, and it's quite really pleasant actually. So happy so far, despite my little silly mistake early on. But that's why you do the recce's. Okay, we just come over the moor there, and then we hit this B road, and we've got to just walk down here for a little bit. So that's just over 5.5 miles. Probably should be 7.5. Probably should be 7, because I'm sure I did at least an extra half a mile, if not more, on that little detour that I did. But quite desolate this bit. I'm trying to work out, I think in the race I'm going to be in the dark here. If I can keep moving the way I want to, I'm hoping to be in Kirby Stephen in about sort of 25-26 hours, so that would be sort of 10-11 in the morning. So I would imagine here it'll still about 2.5 hours away from Kirby Stephen. It'll probably just be starting to get light now, or even light just by now, but certainly that bit from Shap to here will be in the dark. So since the last video, went across a few fields, through a few gates, and then got onto this road which went past Sunbigin Farm, and then we're just about to leave the path now, the road, and we're heading up that way. And I can see a couple of people in green jackets ahead, so maybe they're doing the coast to coast walk. So my next little mini split is Sunbigin Tarn, so that's about maybe just under a mile away. And the sun is coming out now a couple of times. Got my gloves off, my buff off, and it's very pleasant now. So I just made my way across the moor, gone past those two walkers, and just come up to the road now, and Sunbigin Tarn is just over there behind the hill there. So that's it. This is my next mini split, and then we just go down the road for a little bit before taking a left over the fields there. Okay, that's the way I've come from. It's been quite a distinct path really, this sort of grassy path. Farm there, then farm I think it's called. And we're heading towards Ennerdale Bridge now. Been going for 15 miles, 0.63, 3 hours 46, about 14.5 minutes a mile pace. It seems that, I'm not quite sure what happened with the tracker, but James put a comment on saying, oops, sorry. So it sounds as though he hadn't switched it on. But it's working now, so people are able to follow my progress. So this is Ennerdale Bridge, which is going to be my next mini split. And I've just over 17 miles altogether, I think, so I think there's probably about 3.5, maybe 4 to Kirby Stephen, where Katrina is waiting for me. This is a nice little bridge. So it was a little bit windy over the top there. I'd put my gloves back on, but it's very pleasant really. I've not met anyone else since those two walkers. I saw some walkers on a lower path just a few minutes ago, but they were obviously not on the coast to coast. I've made my way following the wall and the path, and I reckon I'm a couple of miles now from Kirby Stephen. It's a little bit windy on the top, but don't need the coat, don't need gloves. Yeah, anyway, so that's okay, and I'm quite happy with the way I'm going, moving well. I've almost drank one bottle for a tailwind, and I've had a fruit bread and I've had an energy bar, and now I'm going to have some sweet potato when I get to Kirby Stevens. Okay, just gone around this farm, following these yellow signs, and basically the sign there said half a mile to Kirby Stevens, so almost at my lunch stop. Just rang Katrina, and she's just having a little walk out, so hopefully I might see her just before Kirby Stevens. Okay, it was a little bit tricky getting through Kirby Stevens. Found Katrina in the end, and then we had a bit of lunch there, and Katrina's going to go and have some lunch herself, and I found the path now over the river and then heading towards Hardley. Right, that's been a 2.5 mile climb out of Kirby Stephen on this road, and then we arrived at this checkpoint, and now we're going to leave the road and go onto a track heading towards 9 Standards and coast to coast walk. A request for help to prevent peat erosion as you enter the Yorkshire Dales National Park from Kirby Stephen. There we go. Okay, it's been another just over a mile, still climbing on a decent path all the way, and we've reached the point now where you sort of make the choice, and because it's August, December to April, we should actually go the green route, but it's almost May and also obviously the race goes this way, so I'm going to follow the path to 9 Standards, which is the route that will go on the race. Right, continuing to climb and climb. That's 4.5 miles now since Kirby Stephen, which is down there in the distance. Here we are at the 9 Standards. So I'm going to take this as my next mini split when I get up to those. So it's been a good climb, and when it's a tough climb after 22 miles, but it's going to be a tough climb after 82. But my plan is probably to have a sleep at Kirby Stephen. That will be my first big stop, and so hopefully I'll have had a sleep and feel a bit refreshed to be able to tackle the hill. Okay, it's just over half a mile from the 9 rigs, and there's some good stone slabs to follow this last little bit, and then here we get another choice here, so you can go 3 different ways. now the race goes the May-July way, so that's the way I'm going to go today. So it's following these slow slabs, and I think we sort of get to the top here and then drop down and then take a left onto Ravensheath. That's the way I've just come. It's just on 2 miles from the 9 standards, and that ground has just been so wet and boggy, so it was quite difficult to get any running even though it's downhill. But this is a good little marker, this Kynaston. We're heading down now, continuing down, and then in about 3/4 mile I think we'll take a left, and then it's not that far then to Ravensheath. Okay, you just about see that post in the distance at the top of the hill. I'm afraid I found this path. I thought, oh great, it's a path all the way down. I started following it, and then I realised it was taking me too far right, so I had to make my way over some more boggy fields and get back onto the correct path. But I'm now back on. This is the May-July route, which is the one I came down, and we're now on a decent path, and I think this path will take us now to Ravensheath. This is the little bridge at Ravensheath. So basically go over this bridge and take a right, and I'm going to use this as my next mini split. Again, that run from the last video, some of it was runnable, but a lot of it was on boggy ground again, so not quite as easy to run as I maybe hoped. So I think there's just under 3 miles to go now to Keld. Okay, it's just gone 5 o'clock and just heading into Keld. I'm not quite sure where Kynaston's going to be. It was hard to work out where to meet because the official path almost goes around the outside of Keld, whereas the official one goes into Keld, I think. But hopefully Katrina is somewhere around and we can meet up. Yeah, I've got a section there. It's still quite boggy ground, and even when we got onto a path it was nice for a while and then it takes you off again, so it's not been as easy to run, but this is a good little path now, so I should be alright. So I met up with Katrina in Keld. I think she had quite a bit of a journey from Kirby Stephen over quite a narrow, hilly road over the top. But she made it, so it's good. And then followed this path, and then I was just thinking about different things, and I wasn't really concentrating. And I took this path here down. And I was thinking, oh, that'll be quite nice. You run along the river, and it'll be a nice path for a while. And I was running down, and then I glanced at my watch and realised I was off the line, so I should have gone left here. So this is the route, sort of climbing up and heading up this way. So again, another little lesson. I think you know, it is tricky, this route. You do have to concentrate. I thought, oh, that's a nice path, I'll stay on that one for a while, that'll give me a nice run, and I didn't really look properly, and again paid the penalty. So I think I probably ran about 3 or 4 minutes down and then probably 5 or 6 minutes back up, so not too expensive. That was a lovely little run from that point where I went from and then came up. We climbed a while, and then there's a lovely sort of run along, and then down here, and then over this little bridge, and then making our way around this way now. Right, it's another big climb up the side of the valley there, and someone has worked really hard. There's loads of these stone steps all the way, so I assume they must have been helicoptered in and then placed, but there's loads of them all the way up. Got a little bit of snow to go over, and then we're onto this path, and then heading up, and the top doesn't look too far away now. Well, that was a tough little section from Keld. It started snowing, so I thought I'd stop and get my jacket on. It got really cold, and then it's quite a climb all the way down here, and then you cross over the river. I made a little mistake. I went up the river and then down again, and then on here, and then this signpost says Ennerdale Bridge. So this is the way to Ennerdale Bridge, which is my next mini split, in fact my last one of the day before I get to Reeth. So it's about another, I think probably another 2 and a bit miles to there, and then just under 4 to Reeth. So it's about 6 miles to go. Good morning, it's now Saturday the 31st of March, and we had a lovely B&B last night, a lovely shower and good sleep, and then lovely breakfast, and Katrina driven back to Reeth. Katrina dropped me off at the place where I finished last night by the school, and about sort of 10 minutes ago, and basically just run through Reeth and then on this little country lane now for a little bit. And then making my way today to Richmond and then to Danby Wisk. So it's about 24 miles today. Feeling quite pleased actually, my legs feel okay. I think when you do these 2-day runs, it's almost as if your body prepares for it. So I feel okay, and it's a bit cold to start with, but the first bit's run I've also warmed up, and looking forward to the day. So little Merrick Avenue's there. It's been a nice little start on the tarmac road, and then through the gate, and then we go up through these woods now, and it's about just under a mile I think to Merrick, which is going to be my first mini split for the day. Yeah, there's a good climb up from the Priory, and there'll be stone step, and then across some fields, a bit muddy again, and then just been through Marrick where my next checkpoint is, mini split, and then you go past the old schoolhouse, and then we have here coast to coast, yeah, Marrick Priory, just been there, and now we're taking a left now, and it looks as though it's about a sort of a 2-3 mile run over the moor, and then you get to Apple something or other, which is going to be my next mini split. Well, that was a nice section from that the last video. You basically make your way down across all these fields, so it was like a good mile of all downhill running, a little bit muddy, not too bad, and really well signposted. You can probably just see on the edge of that fence there, a big yellow sign, and just go over this little beck and little bridge there. Now we're sort of heading over this way, so it's been quite straightforward, this bit, well signposted, and a nice runnable downhill bit. Came off the road for this, and then basically just head across these fields again, these little gates. In fact, there's a couple of gates where there's no fence, but the gate in the middle I think is just to guide you across, and then we're going through this one, and then we're into Applegarth, and I'm going to have a split somewhere in here before the run into Richmond. It's been raining off and on most of the time actually, face is a bit cold, but not too bad when I'm moving, but I wouldn't want to stop too long. Another really enjoyable section there from that last video. It was a lovely grassy track, sort of undulating, that you could run a lot, and then you came onto a farm track, which is sort of, it's been like this and through the trees. That was really good, and we're now going to come on to the main road, or a minor road, but a tarmac road, and that'll take us into Richmond. I think it's about maybe about a mile, about 2 miles to go, maybe a bit less. And just rang Katrina, we've arranged where we're meeting, and we actually on the way out, and we said, right, let's meet at this car park, because that's been the most difficult thing for Katrina, is just working out where to meet me. It's not been too easy a couple of times yesterday, so that's easier. So I'd say this section from Reeth to Richmond has been probably some of the easiest ground. They're still muddy and my feet are still pretty muddy, so there are sections where it's pretty muddy still, but there's lots of runnable bits, and it just seemed a lot easier than some of the other sections yesterday. So I met with Katrina at Richmond. She had a hot chocolate for me, which was lovely. And then made my way through Richmond, and then you just run down this road for a mile or so, and then we're now leaving the road and we're following signs again for coast to coast, public footpath, Colburn. So since the last video, I had a little eventful few minutes where I tried a couple of different directions and realised it was the wrong way until I found the right path. And then at the end of the woods I did the same again, but anyway I found the way. But it was really muddy over that field, and then you come through this place, Colburn, and just come on the road a little bit, and then we're taking a left here and going down this way. So this is the next section, and looks as though there's about another couple of miles maybe till we get to Catterick. Okay, got to this point, coast to coast diversion. And this is all closed off on this side, so I think I should follow it. So you can see the A1 there. So I've done the diversion. You have to run down a road. Actually, just across the road there's a rabbit on the road and it got hit by a car. Poor rabbit. And then basically just by the race course, which you can just about see in the caravans there in the race course, there's a little sort of track that you come down over this bridge, and then okay, since the last video by Catterick racecourse, there's a lovely run down the river, and then once you then get onto the road a little bit, and then just come past here, past this quarry, and then now we're taking a left, and this signpost seen better days, but it does say coast to coast. And then we're heading this way, and my next mini split is Kipling Hall. So maybe about another mile so to that, and then the final one to Danby Wisk. Right, this is my final mini split of the day, Kipling Hall. Been going for 21.32 miles, 5 hours 23. And 15:11 average pace, so I'm really pleased with that. So just got the final few miles to Danby Wisk. I think it's about 4 and a bit miles, so looking forward to that. Katrina's waiting for me there, and we'll head over to our B&B, have a shower, and then we're out for a meal tonight to celebrate and to thank Katrina for supporting me over the weekend. So final little leg to go. Well, things were going quite well there, and then I got to the road, and I was following the Harvey man, and it said that you went left up to Moat Hall and then across, but the tracker that for the route had run down the road in the end, so I followed the road, and then the other track sort of comes in that way and goes right, but I'm going to join the route again, but I'm bang on the tracker, so for some reason they must have decided to go down the road for that little bit. But I've got less than 2 miles to go, maybe just over 1.5 to finish off. I must admit I'm ready to finish now. My face is cold. It's been such a cold day all day. It's never really worked out, and the rain has never really relented. It's just been there the whole day, but it's all good character building. So I made it to Danby Wisk. So this is where Katrina picked me up 2 weeks ago after the end of my second recce weekend, and so now I'm going to turn around and run back to Osmotherley. So just ran up the road from Danby Wisk. It's almost a mile, and then we're taking a left here and following this footpath. The official Wainwright route actually stays on the road, and that's the way I came out. and I must have hadn't marked that on the map, the slight change, so I'll follow the proper route, go in the right direction. So basically this just cuts across over some fields and gets to the road. So just made our way around the edge of the field, and then just climbing up and go past this garage, and then get onto the road, turn left, and then it's about 3/4 of a mile or so down the road before you take a right. And I think that next bit is when you go past that trail, that's the really muddy bit. So just come down the road for half a mile or so, and then at the signpost here, we're heading this way through the farms, and so go past about 3 or 4 farms and some good bits of mud. Okay, this little path through the line of trees is pretty muddy, and then you come to this bit, which is basically just there's nowhere to go except through it. So good little test for my dry map socks. On the way out, obviously my feet were like this, and then I do like the dry map socks because within about 5 minutes the water has been absorbed and your feet seem dry again. So it's I think that's the worst little bit of the whole weekend, just going through that big puddle. So just come down from that really muddy path, and then we're just going to go on the road just for about 1/4 of a mile, if that, and then we take a right and head towards Moorhouse Farm, which is on for the first sort of mile or so, maybe 3/4 of a mile, you're on a farm access road here. So as you approach Moorhouse Farm, then you just follow the signs and bear left, and so you go round the farm to the left. So from Moorhouse Farm, just follow the edge of the field, and then basically going to cut across here now on this track, and then out on this farm. And just follow the fence, past the sheep, and then up to the next farm. Come round this farm, past the horse, and then making our way down this little track, and then we're going to cross the railway in a moment. So from the last farm, just follow the road, and then we're taking a right and left now, and heading towards Ray House, round Ray House, and then we cross the railway. As you go past this farm, just come up from the track there, and there's a well-stocked fridge with water and drinks and chocolate and various stuff. So it'd be worth having some money handy if you need something to keep you going on the Northern Traverse. Look at that, a well-stocked fridge. So past the farm where the fridge is, and then you come to the railway. So stop, look and listen, beware of trains. So I'm heading down the steps, looking out, no trains that way, no trains that way. So I'm going to head across. Right, since the railway crossing, in fact, a train just went past about 2 minutes ago, so I just missed one. We just follow the field. It's quite runnable actually, a little bit soggy, but not too bad. And then you hit this, and then we take a left now. I think we're on a decent this farm road for a little bit. Past that, the farm with the white there in the distance, and then it's a decent track. Until you get to a road, and that road crossing is going to be a mini split. So we followed the road to the farm, and then just a slightly wetter track, and then we're now on this for another think another mile and a bit till we get to the road crossing, which is going to be my mini split for this section. So it's been a good path all the way from the last little video clip, and able to run quite a bit of that. I'm spending a lot of time thinking about I wonder how I'll feel in the race at this stage. This will be 136 miles or so into the race. So it's quite fun to think, I wonder if I could run any of this, but we'll see. So there's a signpost, and we've just onto the road for a little bit now. And I seem to remember on the way out, it's pretty good tracks and roads from now until you get into the forest by Osmotherley. And that post there, I'm going to use that as my mini split, and it was 6.45 miles from Danby Wisk. Just a very short distance, 100 yards or so from that last video clip, and then you come to this minor road, and literally just go for 50 yards, and then we're going to take a right here, and following this public footpath. So again, just a nice path to be able to walk, run on. Okay, nice run down the access road to the farm, and then here's Sidle Lodge, and then the coast to coast route just goes, follow the signs, and you go round the outside of this farm. Following the path down the fields, and I spoke too soon about not having any more water to go through, because I forgot about this bit. This is even thick. This is even deeper. Whoa! Right over my ankles. Woo. Just got to clean the shoes a little bit, but I'll soon get muddy again. So made our way over the path again from that wet muddy bit, and then going past this farm, Longland, and then we're on a bit of a farm road again, and then onto a main track, and we're coming up to crossing the A19, not too far away. So we go through Ingleby, and then Ingleby Cross, and then I'll be crossing the A19. We need to get some water, so I'm hoping either to see someone in the garden and ask her to fill my water, or I'm going to try the garage at the A19 crossing. So very kindly they filled up my water, so that's good. In fact, the A19 comes first, obviously, so I need to try and cross this road now. It's 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, and I need to find a little gap to get across. Here we go. On the other side as well. Should be okay now. There we go. Well, that wasn't too bad. But I can imagine it will depend a lot on what time you're here. You know, if you're here on a sort of Monday morning rush hour, then it might be a lot harder getting across. But that was pretty. And on the way out, it was even easier, because it was about 7 o'clock. Right, so I'm across that road, across the A19. I'm now heading to Ingleby, and then cross over the A172, and then I'll be into the woods and heading back to the post where I started the run from, near Osmotherley. Through the lovely little village of Ingleby, and I'm now just going to cross over the A172, and hopefully this one's an easier one to cross. Yeah, that was one car coming here, just wait for that one. So, well, obviously the A19 is the really tricky one. That one wasn't not too bad. And then heading into the woods now, and to Osmotherley. Right, just heading up to the woods, and going past Diane's famous homemade flapjack. Today's flapjack: date and walnut, apricot and ginger coconut, £1. think I might well. Ooh, that looks good, doesn't it? I think I'll definitely carry some change with me for the race. So I've just come up from Diane's famous flapjack, and we take a left here, heading towards the park house, and you just see the little sign there. I just noticed these yesterday when, well, I think Stephen pointed out, there's an AW inside that yellow arrow. So just giving you a direction marker. So a bit of a climb now. This morning it was a nice downhill, so obviously it's a climb on the way back. So after doing this little climb there was a nice little downhill as well. And then go past the park house, the Walker's bed and breakfast, so I can imagine that is very popular with the coast to coast walkers. And then so we carry on round, and you can see the woods up ahead above, so I think now the main climb starts. That was a good climb up there from the B&B that I saw, and then still following the signs. These look quite newish signs, don't they? Certainly newer than some of the ones that are on their last legs. I'm continuing to climb, and it's not too far now until we get to the Cleveland Way. Right, so we come up the trail from the last video. Here we are, back at where we started. So we turn left now and go up there for the Northern Traverse, which is part of the Cleveland Way. So this next 10 miles or so to Blowfield Crossing I know really, really well, so that's fine. Just a mile or so from the line in, and then we come to this checkpoint, and James and Stephen are showing us the way. So where are we going, guys? Down this way. So we crossed over the moor, got on the road, and then we're now heading over to, oh, we got a signpost now, Blaisdell. So I'm going to use this as my first mini split. Okay, so we've come down this road, and now we're leaving the road again, and how's it going so far, guys?
Wonderful, a lovely day.
Weather couldn't be better.
Yep.
So it's been pretty straightforward, the navigation, isn't it? One or two little questions, but...
Well, it's a couple of minor places where the GPX trail deviates slightly from the route, but nothing that wasn't sorted out very quickly.
Yep. And we're now on another good path, so it looks as though we're going to have a...
Trail 2.5 miles.
Yep. So we've come into Blaisdell, and I'm going to use this as my mini split. So I think the official Wainwright route goes down there, and then the race one goes down this road. So we just sort of cut across. I think it's still on a minor road for a little bit. So we come down the road, Blaisdell, past the railway station, and then there's Blaisdell, the bridge is up there, and then we're going to take a right here and go up those steps and follow us that way, I think. We'll do some follow the river for a little bit. The guys are checking out the map. Happy with the way?
Yeah,
yep,
still a bit running.
Over here and up that nice little hill.
Right, that was a lovely little section following the river, and a little bit muddy in places, but we ran a fair bit of that, didn't we, Steve?
Yeah, we did.
So that was good. And then we've come out of the woods now, and we're just going to head down the road a little bit before we cut off again. And we're following signs to Ennerdale Bridge. So we just ran through Egdon, and then we take a right here, and on my Harvey map this is a purple path, which means that it's on a permissive track. So the guys are just saying we hope that they don't withdraw the permission, but we're just following the river Egdon for a little bit now, and continuing with our run. So we followed that really good path along the river, it was a great path, and now we're coming into, what's the place called? Grows.
Oh, we're coming into Gromont.
Gromont, yeah. So we're coming into Gromont, which is going to be my next mini split. And I think we've run on the road now for about 2 miles. So we'll see how that goes. But it's great having company this run. I'm just saying that the time just flies by when you're chatting, doesn't it? So what we've been running for
3 hours.
Have we?
Really?
No, 2.5.
2.5,
Yeah.
But it's just flown by, hasn't it? It's been great.
Ultra rubbish to each
That's
other.
right,
It's
I know.
fantastic.
And the good thing is, guys, you've not heard any of my stories yet, so I can tell them all.
Excellent. This is a real grin.
Right, so that's been a big climb out of Grosmont, and then we've had a bit of a downhill run along the road, and now we're just going to cut across.
Following the path to Devilback.
Yep.
2 miles.
So we have a little track for a bit, then we join the road for a little tiny bit, and then we're back onto a track heading to Littlebeck. Right, so we've come across the moors there on a fairly decent path, but a bit wet. And then we've got the signs again, sea to sea, and then we're just on the road for a little tiny bit, and then we cut, and we can see Whitby in the distance. So there's Whitby Abbey and the sea. So you can't, the sea is there. It's a bit misty today, isn't it? But,
Light by
yeah.
5:30.
All right, okay. So hopefully it'll be the dawn of the third day.
See the sun coming up over the Abbey.
That's right. Right, we're just making our way through Littlebeck. We just come down the road there, and we're just making our way through this village, and then I think we sort of set off and run down a forest alongside a river for a bit next, so that should be good. Right, so we just run along the river, which is a bit muddy though, and we're at Falling Foss. And we're just working our way here, are we?
Hi.
Yep. James, we're just checking them up. I think we've come up to the car park, but I've got a feeling, James, we should have stayed on that lower path. Okay, so we followed the river along from Falling Foss, and this is the sort of the set point. So we're now going to just head up this road for a little bit, and then we take a right. So I think I'll take my mini split. In fact, I think I might do it from here. I did do it from near the car park, but maybe that would be more sensible. Okay, we just come up from the road there, just a bit of a climb up this road, and so there's the coast to coast path the way we just came, and then we've got coast to coast Hawkster, 4 miles.
And the end is in sight.
Yep, and then it's another sort of 5 miles from there, I think, is it? Yeah. So about 8 or 9 to go.
Yeah, something like that.
And we're still smiling.
Certainly are.
Still talking.
Yeah.
Still friends.
Yeah.
Good. Right, we just made our way across there. Again, a little bit boggy, but not really a path for the first bit. But then this last little bit was a bit of a path. And then following the signs, so through the gate, and it looks as though this is a fairly decent path, isn't it? And we can start to see the sea again, I think, in a minute. We can just about see the coast over there through the trees. So we've just made our way over the field there. It was a bit, again, a little bit boggy, but not too bad. And then we're just going to cross the road here, and then carry on the other side. So we can see Whitby again. James wasn't too sure whether it was getting any closer, but I reckon it's definitely getting closer. It's definitely a bit bigger now. We don't actually go to Whitby, we head to Hawkster, and then we sort of cut across and get on the coastal path a bit further down. But it's a good landmark to see. Again, can't quite see the sea, it's a bit hazy, isn't it? But it's definitely there. So we've come down a fairly muddy track from the last video, and the sign now tells us we're a mile to Hawkster, and it's coast to coast, so that's quite a nice post. And I think we're going to be on a little bit of a road now for this last mile into Hawkster. Okay, we've made it to Hawkster, and there's a caravan park here, and I must admit I've run out of water, and the guys were all wanting to get something to drink. So there's a shop here, so that's really good. So we're going to have a little stop here and refill before the final leg to Robin Hood Bay. We've come off the road from Huckster, where we stopped at the little cafe, caravan shop, and then we're now leaving this main road and we're going up this one, and we seem to be on the road for another half a mile, and then we cut across and we're heading now to the coast, and then when we get to the coast we'll be joining the Cleveland Way for the last sort of 3 miles or so, I think, or maybe 2 miles. Yeah, we've just come down that road from the last junction, and we've got a signpost here, Robin Hood Bay, 3 miles, and we're still going through the caravan site. Okay, so there's the signpost for the Cleveland Way. So we've now made it down from the caravan site, and we're now going to be on the Cleveland Way for the last probably less than 2 miles, I think, maybe a bit more. But wonder how I'll feel in 4 weeks' time reaching this point. Happy, I hope.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah. Okay, so that has finished our run today. That's 28.58 miles, and this is the official finish of the coast to coast, the Wainwright's route. So, wonder how I'll feel in a few weeks' time finishing off. Right guys, so we've done the run, and we've got to finish by running back up to the car park and the Flyingdale Hall. That's where the final checkpoint is. So James has a little race that you have to get time from here back up the hill.
Going solo, that is.
Yeah. So, are we going to try and run it?
Yeah, of course we are.
Okay.
Does that mean we've got to come back down again?
Yeah, I got that.